Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lesson 1.7, Writing Your Historical Investigation Essay. And so by the end of this lesson, you should be able to have part of the historical investigation essay completed. So today we're going to be working on actually writing the essay. Now, as with all things that you start with writing, especially in terms of the IB, you want to take a look at the IB grading rubric. And so this is actually the rubric that is handed to us from the IB. So this is not a Y-High rubric. And so obviously everyone's goal is to try to achieve the highest level possible. So let's take a look here at 13 to 15. And so in order to get a 13 to 15 paper, what do you need to do? Well, it says the investigation is clear, coherent, and effectively organized. It says the investigation contains well-developed critical analysis that is focused clearly on the stated question. Evidence from a range of sources is used effectively to support the argument. And lastly, there is evaluation of different perspectives. This investigation argues to a reasoned conclusion that is consistent with the evidence and arguments provided. And so this is kind of generic, but this kind of just lets you know at least kind of what the rubrics are that the IB is using to grade this paper on. It is very generic, but it just lets you know the level of I guess the level of stringency, if that's the word, that's stringency is the word I'm looking for, that the IB is going to be using in order to grade this paper. So before we begin, pretty much all of you know how to write a basic 5-paragraph essay. First and foremost, this is a 5-paragraph essay that you're writing, so do not write 6. This is a standard 5-paragraph essay. So we all know basically how to do that, but let's worry about our formatting here for a second. So first and foremost, this particular paper that you're writing right now is Section B, Investigation, and that should be your heading. So right now at this point, if you are at the beginning stages, just go ahead and type in Section B, Investigation, because that's what you're writing. And this is the heading for this section. Everything should be in 12-point Times New Roman font. There should be standard margins, which are 1-inch margins all the way around. So don't play anything funny with the margins. Your essay should be double-spaced, and it's easier to do this now than when you're done. So please do not do what many of you do normally. Do it now. Go ahead and set it up to be double-spaced. And you can do, here's the steps on how to do that within Google Docs. In-text citations are also required, and of course they must be Chicago style, and they must be footnotes. Here are the directions on how to do that in Google Docs. So you want to make sure you know how to do that. These are step-by-step instructions for Google Docs. You should also have 5 paragraphs. We already told you that right there. And there should be no unnecessary spaces between sentences. Since the paper is already double-spaced, there's going to be, one line between your last sentence and the very first sentence of your next paragraph, so no need to be doing anything funky in between paragraphs. Your paragraph should not be labeled counterclaim, conclusion, and everything like that. So there should be no labeling of your paragraphs, so do not do that. Just write, right here's the only thing you need to worry about, Section B, Investigation. Then start typing your 5-paragraph essay, and you're done. And do not use any first-person language. So remember, this is a formal essay. So since this is a formal essay, you do not use any first-person language. So do not use I, me, my, and anything like that. So taking a look at your footnote citations, and these are the things that go at the bottom of the page. So these are footnote citation formatting that you need to worry about. So you will have a copy of this PowerPoint. So this link will actually work when you open it up in Google Classroom. So if you'll take a look at clicking on that link and visiting the Chicago Style Guide that's there, that will give you, and it is very lengthy and very cumbersome, so you can peruse it at your leisure, but it is very daunting. But it's there for your reference if you need it. Do not use a generator when you're doing these footnote citations, and the reason being is because sometimes the generators do not know if you're trying to do the footnote or if you're trying to do the bibliography. And so what it will do, it will automatically do one or the other, and sometimes kids forget to switch them back. And so you're going to eventually need to do both because you have to have a bibliography at the end. But these are footnote citations. And so we tell you do not use a generator because you oftentimes don't know if what the generator is going to return back to you is a bibliography or a footnote. So the best thing to do is to just learn how to put the footnote citations in properly. And so when you have finished typing your paper, you want to ensure that the footnote sections is still in 12-point Times New Roman font, so it's the same exact font as everything else. The only thing that is different is that the footnotes are single spaced. So the footnotes are single spaced, and then there's no unnecessary spaces between footnotes. So at the bottom of your paper, there literally should be your footnotes, and they're one right on top of the other. So there's no space in between them. Now, in terms of formatting your bibliography, this is going to be slightly different, but at the very top of the page, you're going to title the page references. So this is not correct here, so don't look at that, but you're going to title it references. In addition to the 5-paragraph essay, you should include a formal Chicago-style bibliography, and that is going to be at the end. So you will have your 5-paragraph essay, and then after that, you will have your references section. And so you should have at least 10 sources. So write that down. You should have at least 10 sources. The IB, just to let you know, the IB insists on 10 sources. That's why we tell you you have to have at least 10. If you submit a paper that has less than 10 sources, the IB considers it under-sourced. And so as a result, they automatically will lower the grade. So don't give them the opportunity to do that. Again, your bibliography should be in 12-point Times New Roman font, so just like normal. Citations should be single-spaced. Citations should be alphabetical order by author's last name. So everything's going to be done by alphabetical by last name. And citations should have an hanging indent. And here is where the instructions are for you to do that in Google Docs. So if you do not know how to do a hanging indentation, don't worry about it. Just read these instructions right here, and it will tell you exactly what to do in Google Docs in order to properly format your bibliography for the HI. Now, this is a serious reminder, very, 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 very serious reminder to you all. If you do not submit a draft of this section, you will not pass first semester, period. Again, if you do not submit a draft of this section, you will not pass first semester, regardless of your current grade or percentage. So if you are sitting in class right now with a 99 and then you do not turn it in HI, this will turn into an E at the end of the semester because this paper is a graduation requirement. You will not be allowed to register for IB History 2, which means you cannot be promoted to 12th grade until you have submitted your HI essay. This means, and this is the last little tick mark here, this means that if you do not have your final draft submitted by the end of the junior year, you will not be enrolled in 12th grade classes until the paper is submitted. So basically, you cannot graduate out of 11th grade into 12th grade until this paper is completed. So please be reminded of that. This is a serious reminder that in order to matriculate into 12th grade, you must complete this paper in 11th grade. So what are your tasks to do now? You need to start typing your essay using the completed outline as a guide for you. So at this point, you should have already turned in an outline that you should have received feedback from the teacher on this outline. And so you should be ready to go with just transforming your outline into your 5-paragraph essay. Some things for you to remember: you must stick with the thesis formula, so all of you have that. You must stick to the order of the paragraphs. So you must have an introduction, your counterclaim, your supporting point A, supporting point B, and conclusion. Period. That's your order. Do not deviate. You do not have to restate your research question in the thesis paragraph. In fact, do not do this because it's extra words that you are wasting, and your research question is going to be in part A anyway. And you do not have to include any reflections on your methods because that is where the reflection section is going, so don't do anything with that. This is literally just the essay part itself, the 5-paragraph essay. And lastly, you are aiming for 1,300 words. That is your word limit. You have 1,300 words in order to write this 5-paragraph essay. And that is our lesson for today. So our lesson has concluded. Do you have part of the historical investigation completed? Obviously not. You have just finished watching this video. So you now have the opportunity to go off and write your essay. If you have any questions, please seek me out and let me know. If not, get to writing, and you have this class and next class dedicated to just writing your HI essay. So you should be able to complete this 1,300 word essay in the span of 2 full class periods. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.